I cannot believe that I'm pregnant. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is probably the most exciting video I've ever sat down to film. So if you're subscribed to my channel, then you would have already seen the pregnancy announcement video. So if you're not subscribed or you haven't seen that for some reason, yes, the title is right. I'm pregnant. I have a shirt on, which I just realized you can't even see in this, that says preggers, which obviously I'm not wearing out in public yet, but it feels good to just wear it at home. I am 5 weeks pregnant tomorrow, which is still so weird to me. So today, like you can tell from the title, is going to be my 0 through 4 week pregnancy update. And I'm going to go into like how we found out we were pregnant and the symptoms and stuff that I've had before the pregnancy test and then since then. So as you guys know, we have dealt with infertility for quite a while, and we had our first IUI on September 25th. And our first IUI worked, which doesn't happen very often. So it was a surprise. At the same time, like I'm gonna get into it, I kind of thought I was pregnant, but it was a surprise. So the whole time during the 2-week wait, like I was being hopeful, but also realistic, knowing that the first IUI very rarely works. And for whatever reason, it worked for us. And I still can't believe it. Like it worked for us. And here we are now, almost 5 weeks pregnant. So first and foremost, I don't know exactly when you guys are going to be seeing this video. We have an ultrasound at 7 weeks. I'm definitely going to wait until at least then, but I know that I'm not going to wait the whole like normal first trimester, just because I know that I have so many people that are wanting to find out what happened on my journey. I've kind of staggered my IUI videos for this reason, to give me some time. And also because I've said from the beginning, whenever we get pregnant, especially our first time, this is the first time I've ever been pregnant in my life, and we worked so hard for it. So I want to celebrate this pregnancy and celebrate this baby for however long it lasts, whether it's 9 weeks or 9 months, which, like, God forbid, I don't even want to put those thoughts out there. But we all know that things can happen. It's still very early. But I don't want to keep that all a secret. Like, I want to celebrate this. I want to tell you guys, you know, no matter what happens. So by the time you see this, I'm assuming I'm definitely after 7 weeks, but I don't know exactly how far along I am. I'll put it in the description down below. So this video is probably going to be pretty lengthy, so grab a snack or something. So let's just get into things. So today is Sunday. We found out on Monday, so it's been almost a week. So first I want to just talk about the day we found out. I had really wanted to do a live pregnancy test. So the plan was Ben was going to go to work, and then we were going to test when he got home and film it for like a live pregnancy test reaction video. And that didn't wind up happening, and here is why. You probably watched my IUI, like that procedure day video, and I gave a quick little disclaimer in the beginning about the fires in my county. The day that we found out we were pregnant was the day that the fires started. Our home is fine. Most of like our town and the towns surrounding got evacuated. We were so lucky to be one of the few who never evacuated. But the day that we found out we were pregnant was the one day we really had like a risk of evacuating. We could see fire across the freeway from where we live. So like we could actually see the fire. The day we were supposed to find out, we woke up to text messages and calls and Facebook alerts about this fire. And we woke up at like 6 and got all of these alerts, and then looked outside and saw the fires. And so that is how the day we were supposed to find out started. So of course it's not like right in my mind like, oh, I should pee because Ben's here and do it. Like, no, that wasn't in my mind. And so Ben stayed home from work because nobody was supposed to go out of their homes unless they were being evacuated. It was seriously such an emotional and terrifying thing to see your home essentially burn to the ground and not know if you have to leave. So like we were packing, we were getting everything ready if we had to go, and we were pretty much just sitting and waiting, wondering what was gonna happen. And I was an anxious mess that day. About 2 o'clock rolled around and we were still home, and nothing had really changed in the sense that like our evacuation orders, and I had to pee, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna do a test. And Ben actually really didn't want me to, because he was like, I can't handle either emotion right now. I don't really want to know. And I was like, but I do, because if it's negative, which we kind of thought it would be just for statistics wise, then great. I can put it out of my mind and I can focus on everything else that's going on. And if it's positive, then that'll be like a good light in all of this devastation. So I convinced him to do it, because I was like, you know what, this isn't gonna go away tonight. This isn't gonna go away tomorrow, these emotions that we're feeling. And at some point we're gonna have to find out. So we decided to take a test. And like I said, I had always planned on filming it, but that just did not feel right at all. In the middle of all of this, whipping out a camera and filming our reactions was just not right. So we didn't. And I'm sure you guys can all understand that. Like, of course I would have loved to have that for my own documentation and to share with you guys, but it just, like, that day, it was not right. So the plan was I was gonna pee on like the lines stick. I have a bunch of the cheap ones, and like cover it up and like bring it out for Ben and I to look at. But in such like the waves of like craziness, I didn't even cover it. I didn't even think. I just peed on it, left it on the counter, didn't cover it, set my timer, went out of the bathroom. My timer goes off. I go back in the bathroom, and before I have even like fully crossed the threshold, I can see it sitting there like clearly positive. Like 2 lines are blaring at me before I'd even walked through the door. And I just stopped, turned and looked at Ben, was looking at him in shock, and then burst into tears. And he was like, what is going on? And then I was like, it's positive. He was like, you were supposed to bring it out here, like we were supposed to look at it together. And I was like, I completely forgot. I just left it there, and there it is. And so he's like, okay, take the other one.
I'm gonna be a dad!
Come say your
No!
How did you feel when it was positive? That's the part of the story I'm on right now.
Freaked out, man.
So anyway, so yeah, I bought a clear blue test to take in case it was positive, just to like confirm. And so I'm like fumbling with the instructions. I'm like, how long do I dip it in my pee? And finally I did, and it was supposed to be like a 3-minute test, and it popped up like immediately. Pretty much immediately it said pregnant. And so then I burst into tears again. And it was the most overwhelming emotions. Like, it was such a weird day. So then we called our families and we told them, and I had every intention beforehand also of filming my family's reactions again, just for my own memory and to share with you guys. But again, we all live in this area, so we are all at risk from these fires. We were all emotionally spent. Like, it just did not feel right to film their reactions. And unfortunately, when you have an IUI, like, you don't get the luxury of like it being a surprise. So everyone literally was like looking at their calendars, knowing that today was the day we were gonna find out. So we had to call them and tell them that day. There could be no like element of surprise, anything fun. So we just FaceTimed. Everyone was so excited. It was like, really was like a light in the ashes. It was seriously the only thing that could like make that day better. So that day was very weird. I really didn't start soaking it in and getting excited about it until yesterday, because these fires have been going. They're still burning, they're still not contained. And so I haven't had a chance to really fully soak it in and absorb until like yesterday. And so now I'm starting to get really excited. Things are starting to kind of go back to normal around here. And so that's how we found out. It was a very weird, very emotionally overwhelming day. And so I'm gonna talk about now the symptoms I had beforehand. So I say that I kind of thought it was gonna be negative, but at the same time, deep down inside, I kind of knew it was going to be positive, because things were so different in my body this time than I have ever felt. The first symptom I ever noticed was my boobs were feeling really sore. But that started pretty early on, and I think that the initial soreness actually might have been from the progesterone that I was taking and I'm still taking. I take through 7 weeks now. And so my boobs started to get a little sore, but like nothing crazy. So I really think it was from the progesterone at first. But then they slowly started getting more painful, which I've had soreness before my period before. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But then my nipples started to really hurt, like bad. And that's never happened during my period. That is actually a sign of ovulation for me. But I've never had that happen during my period. And the overall boobs were just starting to hurt more. And then like my nipples were hurting so bad. And then Thursday, which was like 10 days past the IUI, I started to get really bad like period cramps. They weren't bad, but like they were there, and it felt like I was going to start my period on Thursday. But I knew that there's no way that would happen because I'd seen my follicles, my eggs still in there days after that. Like, I know I didn't ovulate until that Monday. So that would mean I was getting cramps 4 days before my period was due, which was just not normal for me. And so that was like a flag to me because it literally felt like I was going to start my period like any second. And I felt that on Thursday and Friday. And then by the time the end of Friday came, the like consistent cramping period feeling had gone away, but like Saturday and Sunday and still this happens. If I'm sitting in a spot for too long and I like stand up quickly or like I roll over in bed too quickly, I get a really strong cramp in my uterus that like stays for like 15 seconds and then goes away. So I was having that happen, which I'd never had happen before. So like I felt like I was going to start my period for 2 days and then all of a sudden that went away. But then these random cramps started happening if I would like move too quickly. But the rest of the time I was fine. So that was really strange to me. So I was like, this is not something I've ever experienced before. Again, it could be because of the progesterone. Like, I've never taken this medication before. I don't know how it's going to affect my body. And so I was trying to keep that in my mind the entire time to not get my hopes up. Like, you're on a new medication. It could be causing these symptoms. You don't know. And the one other thing that had happened before I got the positive test, which was, again, something that could have been caused by the progesterone, but it was that my skin was completely clear. My skin is the best it has ever been since going off birth control 2 years ago. I've talked about my struggle with acne before. I have really bad cystic acne. I have none of that, and I had none of that. And the weirdest part about it was I had lost the topical acne treatment that I have used to try to help it, and I had like completely slacked on my vitamins, which are the things that I like swear by for my skin. So I realized I haven't been taking my vitamins and I haven't been using my topical treatment in like a week or two, and my skin is perfect. So that was weird. So that made me think, okay. And then I just felt all around bloated and just kind of different. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt weird. So it's like when I took that test, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be negative, just because I'd seen so many negative pregnancy tests and I knew the statistics, but deep down inside, I was like, this is going to be positive. And so it was. And so here I am now, almost a week since I found out. My symptoms are pretty much all the same. My boobs still hurt really bad. They've actually grown a bit. This is TMI, but welcome to pregnancy. My nipples have already completely changed. I wouldn't say completely, but they've changed in a way that like I don't like. And they're just gonna continue to change, so that's funny. And like my boobs and nipples hurt so bad, like my seatbelt like swiped one and I like cried out in pain. It hurts so bad. I've had a couple of waves of nausea here and there, but I don't know if it's pregnancy or anxiety because there has been so much stress going on with these fires, and when I get anxious, I get nauseous. So I think part of it's been that. I have had a craving, which is so weird. I was like massively craving olives and pepperoncinis. I don't know why. Obviously, I know why. There's a baby in me. And so I got those, and it was really great. And my feet are asleep. And I've had no cravings for like sugar, anything, which is weird because I have a huge sweet tooth. So I have not wanted anything to do with sugar at all. I've felt tired. Like I've been taking naps here and there. I've been sleeping in a bit, but nothing crazy. Like for the most part, I still feel very much like myself, except for the boobs. I feel very bloated, and those occasional cramps are still happening. Blood tests. So my doctor, after you get your positive pregnancy test, makes you confirm with a blood test 48 hours apart. The day I found out, obviously I couldn't go out to get my blood done. I did go out the next day, and there was one lab open in 2 counties. One lab in 2 counties. So you can imagine it was a very long wait. The smoke out in the air was horrible. Like I didn't want to go outside at all. I've pretty much kept to my house for the most part this entire week because the air quality here right now is toxic levels. It's very bad. And so I've pretty much stayed in as much as I can. But that day I did have to go out. So I went out. Long story short, I got my lab test results back. They said they want to see at least a 50. Mine were in the 600s. So let's remind you that I did have 2 follicles, so there very well could be twins in there, which I don't even want to think about yet. I'm still like coming to terms with the fact that like I'm actually pregnant. So they were in the 600s, and then they wanted to see them double 48 hours later, and they more than doubled. So we're off to a great start. It makes me really positive that everything's gonna work out well for this pregnancy, and like everything's healthy and growing. and it's crazy. Like, I cannot believe it actually worked. So here we are. That was weeks 0 through 4. I think I'm gonna be doing these updates every 4 weeks. But let me know what you guys think or what you'd want to see. I'll also do other pregnancy related videos. Like, honestly, my channel is probably going to become very pregnancy, just because that's like what's in my life right now. And I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. So next thing I have is my ultrasound in 2 weeks now, which I can't wait to see the baby, find out if it's 1 or 2. Like I said, it's definitely been a range of emotions. I've been kind of terrified. Like, I've always been so focused on getting pregnant, and like now that I actually am, it like hit me the realization of like I have to take care of this human growing inside me, and that's kind of terrifying and scary and overwhelming. I had a couple days there where I was feeling very overwhelmed and anxious, but again, I think it's partially because the fires were just making everything heightened. I'm still feeling nervous because this is all so new to me, and like I haven't seen the baby yet, but I'm also very excited and like ready to experience this. Like, I can't believe I finally get to experience this, and I'm so lucky that it happened for us on our first IUI. I cannot believe it, and I'm so grateful and just so excited and just so excited. So due date is, I haven't gone to the doctor yet, but due date based on the IUI date is June 18th, which is the day before my niece's birthday. So I'm gonna have a June baby. I always wanted a summer baby, so it worked out really well. I think that's everything for this first update. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know down below. If there's any specific pregnancy related videos you would like me to film, please let me know down below. Make sure you follow me on social media to keep up to date. Social media, I literally just mean Instagram. That's really all I use. Follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with like pictures, and I post on my story a lot and stuff there. So just to kind of keep up with the pregnancy over there when I'm not posting videos. And if you have not subscribed, then make sure you do, because you're gonna wanna follow along this pregnancy journey. I cannot believe I'm filming a pregnancy video. I cannot believe that I'm pregnant. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So subscribe, like this video, because I can't believe I'm pregnant, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. I thought I'd also do a belly shot for you guys every week or every update. I'm in pajamas right now, so don't mind those. And obviously I have no changes yet. I'm bloated, so that's about the only change I've had to my belly, but it's a good thing to show you guys for a starting point. So I will show you right now. I'm a little bloated, so here I am, shirt covering, and then here's belly as is. So I'm definitely like a little bloated throughout here. Like, if I were to really stick out, like if I were here, you can see that I'm definitely a little bit bloated and just feeling like just not quite like my body, but it's really not that different. So there we go.